Welcome to the Macros for Life podcast, where we talk all things macros, business, and marriage. We're your hosts, Eve and Randall Guzman. Visit our website at www.gtransformationacademy.com, where you can download our free How to Track Macros guide. This guide has helped over 15,000 people start their macro tracking journey. What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Macros for Life podcast. Today we have our friends Jovi and Evita with us. These guys are the owners of Jovita Lifestyle.
Yeah.
Hey, we see y'all with the blend. Who came up with that?
With the what? I'm sorry.
That's our name.
With the blend. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who put it together though?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, me.
Yeah. he thought of it originally. We had someone bring it up to us and he had already thought of it. So it was like a meant to be situation.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I like it. It go together good.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
For sure. So you guys are holistic and hormone coaches, which really hits me, and it kind of made me feel some type of way because that's a population that have been underserved and misrepresented. Like, they're misunderstood not only outside of the industry that we're in, but also in our industry. A lot of times, women have a lot of issues with their hormones that stop them from seeing certain results like other people would. And then instead of people addressing the issue, they often just keep cutting their calories. So I know my wife dives into the hormones hard too, but what got you guys into it?
Honestly, it's my background. So I have a background of being a nutrition coach and getting into the industry. I was an extreme yo-yo dieter, like a binger and a restrictor. And then my restriction got to the point that I was essentially anorexic. Like I was restricting for long periods of time, 1,000 calories a day or less. And from that, the restriction, the malnourishment, I imbalanced my hormones to an extreme extent. So I had low testosterone, low DHEA, and like a downregulated thyroid function, which impaired me not only from losing weight, but it was mostly keeping it off. Like I had to continue the cycle of doing the low calories to even maintain the weight loss, which obviously is not sustainable. So that was my passion project for myself to try to figure out, how the hell can you just live a normal life without, an extremely slow metabolism that I created myself. It was my lifestyle choices that got me to that place. So that's basically where it came from. And now we want to help others, teach others.
For sure. I think you can relate to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to think about cutting calories is just drastically, just to kind of like keep a look, when it's all said and done. For myself, it was just like everything I eat, I always wanted to cut the calorie because I felt a piece of a body fat. It was just always an image for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everything I did was extreme. And I never gave my mind and my body a break to kind of like trust itself and build that trust and that connection. So when I met my wife, we kind of worked together, and it was just like seeing her trial and tribulation, and it was just like a hit, 9 years,
That's what's up. Yeah.
9 years.
I couldn't help, but I felt like the emotion changed.
Yeah. 9 long years with this man.
How long y'all been in business together?
We've been
going on 4.
going on 4 together. Before that, we were doing our own thing separately. He was personal trainer. I was doing nutrition, like consultations with his clients, trying to get my foot into the industry. I was a hairstylist and wanted out. So
Yeah. That's what's up. That's interesting. Did y'all find that? Did y'all blend like automatically when y'all started working together? Or y'all have like some head bumping going on to have to figure out where y'all fit?
We did well, I think, working together in general, just because that's our whole relationship has been like that. I think we both are people that like lists, and we like getting to a goal. So like our whole life was that, like the first year of even knowing each other, it was like we completely 180'd our entire lives. And then it was like we moved cross country together too. So everything was like, okay, we got to get to this destination, now this destination, now this destination. So we were always so goal oriented. So it wasn't a huge transition, but I mean, owning a business and running a business in general is a whole nother monster. So we've had our ups and downs, don't get me wrong, but we work really well together.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel that.
Yeah. She's my best friend. You know, I can't complain. I don't have friends. You know, I'm really like, I like to enjoy, you know, the moment and activities, but for the most part, I keep to myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's the most social, unsocial man I've ever met.
Weird. It's socially, but unsocially.
Yeah.
Like with Phage, I gotta have my peace. Like, you know,
Yeah.
where it's just like, you know, there's nobody around, it's just me and my thoughts and, you know, God. And I just kind of like talk to myself and get in my zone. So
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
for the most
Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more what it was like for each of you guys? You can pick who goes first. Like, what was like your childhood like when it came to like nutrition, fitness, whether you were doing stuff, you weren't doing anything, you know, how were you raised, that type of thing?
Yeah, so I, from a young age, struggled with my weight. I remember like even like 12 years old, I was on the swim team and I remembered like not being like feeling confident in my bathing suit with the other girls. Like I felt bigger. My mom always was a yo-yo dieter and like did the most extreme methods possible. Like I remember her doing slim fast, nutribolic diet, the juice cleanses, like everything you could think of, she was doing it. And so I remember being like, well, I want to try it. And so I started doing what she did at a super young age, like 13, 12, maybe. And it gave me that, like, you know, you get the initial weight loss with these programs and it gives you that like addictive dopamine hit. Like you get addicted to the result. And so I couldn't obviously not sustain these, neither could she. And so she yo-yoed up and down my entire life with weight. And I remember her even like refusing to go to like certain family functions or whatever, high school reunions, whatever it is, because she was like, I'm not skinny enough to go. Like I can't go. So that instilled in me. And I feel like I held myself back in so many different ways. And it really, you know, was negative to my self-esteem because I felt like I'm not good enough. I'm not ready. And that held me back from so many different things. So I went my whole childhood, like up 20 pounds, down 20 pounds, up 50 pounds, down 20 pounds, just doing extreme methods and never had any sustainability. And it left me with a really bad relationship with food, a bad relationship with my body image. Like I truly, like, I hated myself. And so that's what got me into the industry. Like I said before, it was just like trying to find peace and balance and like answers for myself because I was like, am I broken? Am I the only person in the world that's like this? Like, but I just obviously realized it was the methods that were the reason.
And then women that you work with, do any of them have similar stories of like watching their mom's diet? Because that was me.
Very similar stories. Like it's more often than none, I would say. It's like we relate on it. A lot of us relate on the same stories, or like their mom being like, oh, you should probably not eat that, you know, like at a birthday party or something, or like limiting their food intake, or like only complimenting them if they lost weight, but not complimenting them in other areas. And I don't feel like my mom was that type of mom. She was very kind and loving, but it was like I led by example. Like I did what she did. And she feels horrible about it now to this day. Like she was like, I always was like, do as I say, don't do as I do, or whatever that phrase is. But I mean, we pick up on it.
Definitely.
Facts. Yeah. They do what they, you know, our parents showed us what they showed us, but they only could teach us what they knew. You feel me? Like we are, like definitely relate to you in that situation. Like I know how I grew up. Like I didn't know anything about nutrition growing up. My mom didn't know anything about nutrition. It was basically volume. Everything was volume. Like nothing about any nutrition facts, any macros, anything. It was like just restrict volume. So they just didn't know. Yeah. And they teach us those things, and then they go with us. And then I mean, once you know better, you do better. But yeah, like I'd be like, damn, if I'd have knew that back then. Like if I'd have knew this back then.
But I think it's beautiful, at the end of the day, like you said, they do the best that they can. So it's up to us, to kind of break that cycle. And then our kids, when we have kids or your kids, they break the cycle and the generation gets better and better. But somebody has to break something. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
speaking on my behalf, it was just more or less the same thing. It was like volume, or it was just like extreme things. You know what I mean? My mother was naturally skinny, and my father kind of goes up and down in weight. And so it was just all about either working out and eating what you want, or not working out and eating everything. So it was just like a lot of like highs and lows, and nothing was like in between. Whereas moderation, protein, carbs and fats, vegetables, it was either all fast food and working out. So it was just like I've come to a realization that, it's about living long and healthy, and watching what we eat and how much we eat. And it goes into like protein, carbs, and fats, and it becomes a lifestyle. So that's just basically where I was coming from, just a lot of extremes.
And a lot of processed, like we both grew up on a ton of processed foods. Like
sure.
we did I mean, my mom, I remember her getting like the little meals that you put in the microwave, like the lean cuisines and all of that kind of stuff. And then it was like, just everything was processed. So,
Yeah, I ate a lot of bologna sandwiches, which is disgusting. I mean, man, I would like be so excited to like get my little bologna sandwich made. And some people will probably have a debate when they hear this. Like, do you do mayonnaise? Do you do Miracle Whip? I would do either one, and then I'd mustard on it, and then I would find some chips, crush them, put them in the sandwich with the bologna, and it was the best.
Yeah.
And then I would eat another one, and then probably another. But like, yeah. But like, I didn't know any better, and they bought what they thought was okay and what they could.
Yeah. Yeah. I love my parents. I'm pretty sure you guys feel the same way. It's just, it is what it is. That's what they knew. I mean, look how they were raised. We got to think about who raised them, who raised your mother, who raised your father. You know what I'm saying? So they only took on what they took on. So I can't complain.
Yeah. I was the first big dude in my family. So like everybody else in my family was small. I mean, my father's a big dude. He like 6'4", 260, but he wasn't around. So, my mom's small, both of my brothers small. So like for me, it was just like me in the house. You know what I'm saying? And most of my life it was dismisses. Okay, you big, you play ball. You know what I'm saying? You take your size and you use it and play ball. So I never really, I just went up and down with mine. And then once I hung my cleats up and stopped playing ball, I think I was like 290, 295. And then like in like 2 years, I was 400 pounds. I was 386 pounds. So like, it was just, those bad eating habits never got addressed. And once I stopped working out for playing football, it was just like, boom. Yeah. And it was at that point, I was like, yeah, something got to happen. We can't go out like this.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah.
Did you guys ever reach like a pivotal moment or anything that you can remember where you were like, okay, enough is enough. Like I got to do something that's sustainable and lasts. Like, can you remember the moment that happened where you were like, all right, I got to change?
Might as well. I met you.
Yeah, mine was with him too. Honestly, it was the first year. Like when we met each other, we were still like two lost souls. Like we didn't know what we were doing with our life. We were like, going out too much, drinking too much, like didn't have any purpose. And we met each other, and he knew I was into nutrition and like knew a lot about nutrition, but I wasn't practicing what I preached. And then he was into fitness and I knew nothing about fitness. So we were like, had this moment where we were like, okay, we're going to go all the way in and we're going to be like transform our lifestyles. but both of us being extremists, not knowing, how to be sustainable and only knowing what we had known in the past, we went way too extreme. And that's what happened was like, we were basically like living life on competition prep, like extremely low calories, extremely boring food, working out twice a day. And because of my eating disorder past, I took it way too far. So that was like when I got down to like 99 pounds, my hair was falling off. I lost my cycle. And I was obsessed. Like that was the first time in my life that my family actually like intervened and was like, you look sick, and I thought it was just me being disciplined for the first time in my life. I didn't realize it was like, this is disordered. And of course, we relapsed in the sense that we started, you can't keep that up. We gained all the weight back, both of us. And that was, I think, my pivotal moment where it was like, I can't do this ever again. Like, I can't do the gaining and the losing ever again. And that's when I like enrolled in courses and I went to, I was like, I'm going to get educated in this for me. Yeah, I think yours was the same.
I mean, same thing.
We were extremists in all sense of the word. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
Same thing.
When you guys first met, before you like kind of got into this like extreme, like not so great place, what were the things you guys were eating? Like, what was some of your like favorite stuff that you were eating?
He was all fast food, and I was like, I was
eating jail food. Sorry.
Yeah. He would be like, give me some ramen.
Are we free out here?
He was like, we'd be going out. He's like, oh, just pick me up a cup of noodles and an Arizona ice, like big can. And and flaming hot Cheetos. And he's like, I'm good. Like, we don't have to go out to eat that. I'm good with that. Where I was like, I like to go out to eat. Like, I was just like an eater. Like, I liked it all. Like, you know what I mean? I liked the fast food and I liked the high end food. I was just an eater.
And I'm eating ramen noodles in the car before we go to a high end restaurant. Burritos and shit in the bag. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
When I met him, it was the same way. I was all fast food and he was the ramen dude. Like, do this and put cheese on it and hot sauce. And I'm like, this is disgusting. He was like, no, you gotta like upgrade the noodles. I'm like, this is so gross. And literally what you said, he would be like, just get me this and I'm cool. But sometimes it'll be like, get me a bag of, do you guys know White Castles? You guys from the Midwest, right?
Oh, yeah, we know White Castle.
In the Midwest and the East Coast.
We used to eat White Castle every night at like 2 a.m. when we went, because we were drinking a lot. We were going out like 5 nights a week. I was still working and we was a functional human being, but we were out every night. We were young. And so we would get White Castle, like chicken sandwiches and fries and ranch at like 3 o'clock in the morning, like 5 times a week.
That's the best time to eat it.
Yeah. Then you wake up like, oh my God, this is not sitting well, but it was good in the moment.
Oh my God. Yeah. If you guys don't know what White Castle is, it's good at the moment you eat it, but like 4 hours later or when you wake up, your stomach is in knots.
Man.
Yeah, literally.
Like yeah. I just had to know what you guys were eating.
Immediate regret.
Yeah. And the smell of it the next day too is like, how did I eat that? But in the moment, it's like the best thing you ever ate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's open late for a reason.
It's a great marketing thing.
Man. Talk to me about the grocery store videos. So
you guys do.
Yeah. I peep the grocery store videos. When I'm scrolling, I stop instantly when I see one of the grocery store videos. How you get started on those? And I know people probably be looking at you funny in there when you recording them.
Oh yeah, we got a couple times people tell us like, you can't record in here. So now we have to be like kind of secretive about it. But I think we started it really because he really took a turn with ingredients and himself when like, before we were more concerned with like if it fits your macros, but then when my hormones and like my journey with hormones came in the picture, it was a lot more like quality ingredients, getting rid of trans fats, like refined sugar, like really paying attention to what we were eating. And then he has issues with inflammation and like it comes out as like on my body, hormonal acne on my body. So he's very, very knowledgeable about what he puts in his body. So we both kind of decided it would be a good like teaching tool to get in the grocery stores and kind of do the basics for people so they aren't so confused about stuff.
Yeah, that's what got me into it, like serious.
We'll definitely link one in the show notes for you guys, and we'll also like put your handles and stuff so they can go take a look. But what is like so interesting, and I think it also has like captured Randall when he watches you in the grocery store, is you do not expect a Black guy covered in tattoos to be talking about, okay, let's look at the ingredients in this bar. Is it dairy-free? And I'm just like, it is so different, but I love it. But that's your brand, you know what I mean?
I think that I love the fact that who I am because I relate to, people, and I meet people where they're at. And I don't judge anyone by how they look, because you got to give them a chance. You know what I mean? We all have a past, we all have a background, but where are you at now? You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about now? What are you doing now?
Yeah.
And if we can work together and change the world together, then let's do it, based upon whether you like the same sex. It doesn't have anything to do with it. We all can change something for the positive. So I'm out there in front of the camera and I'm talking to people. I'm very excited because I know I'm going to stick out like a sore thumb. I'm like really excited, and I'm bringing enthusiasm and charisma and all those different things, because I know that they're going to judge me right away and say, like, what is this? And why is he talking about ingredients and, processed foods, and stay away from this and swap this out for that? So I find enjoyment in it.
And it's funny too, because we work with all women, and he's so like good with emotions and empathy and talking about mindset. And it's funny because when you first meet him and then get to know him, it's you never expect his personality, and that's part of the thing I love most about him.
That's how I got it.
That's how you got it.
That's how he got her. It's like, baby, I can speak emotions and empathy to you all day. And I can build you a meal plan.
Yeah, of course. Relating to Brennan and all that.
So what percentage of your clients are women? Is it 100%, 90, 85?
So 2 men.
Yeah, we have
It's
2
a 71-year-old man.
that we love.
And
we love that man.
It's a 33-year-old guy.
Yeah, one of our female clients brought her roommate, and he ended up being an awesome client. But
everything else is women.
Yeah, everyone else is women.
Just 2 men.
98%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. All emotions, highs and lows, periods. I don't feel like doing this. I'm, all this crazy.
He's learned a lot. He's very knowledgeable about this stuff because he went through it with me in a real life situation. Sure. So it's not just like in a, going to school and understanding the cycle and hormones of women. Like, he lived it with me. So I think that's what gave him more of like an actual feeling and emotion towards the situation, as opposed to someone just like spitting education at someone. So, and
what I've learned from working with just women, all shapes and sizes, it's a lot of emotions with this journey. So much the men is different. It's a different approach. With women, you know what I mean? It's like a daily constant battle with themselves. As far as, are they good enough? Do they feel sexy? The relationship with food, trust in their body. Their mind is talking them out of situations like, you should quit now, this is not worth it. Or so many different distractions of friends and significant others telling them they should give up, or why are you doing this? So I notice it's a constant battle with themselves. You know what I mean? Notice that it's very important that I, as a man, try to nurture that and cater to those emotions and give that empathy, but at the same time, let them see that there's light too. You focused on what's best for you. You know what I mean? I try to kind of like, smooth it out.
That's definitely interesting because like women, the way that they operate is so complex compared to us. Like, we're so simple compared to when you compare to them. So I know it took a lot of work for you to get there. You know what I'm saying? To be able to work with them, because it's just a whole different thought process.
Different monster. It's a different monster. You gotta be you gotta be in tune with your emotions. Yeah. For sure. You can't be like, so much of an egotistic, manly man type of a person. You got to really understand and be confident within yourself, but at the same time have a softer side for them. You know what I mean? Give them the directions so they can be successful.
Like the way we are wired is just so different.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
we could sit here for 10 minutes and I won't even say 10 minutes, that's too long. I could sit here for 2 minutes and have like 20 different thoughts that are completely different. Randall
Mhm.
might be focused on one thing.
Mhm.
And I'm like, should I do this? Should I do that? No, I should wait till later. No, I should have did it yesterday. Bitch, you should have been done it. What are you? I'm literally pulling myself in 1,000 directions.
Oh yeah. And then you
And
wonder why we're so exhausted at the end of the day. It's like my mind is going a mile a minute. I
Mhm.
overthink. I'm like worst case scenario. I'm like I have to always be talking myself down. So yeah.
Jump off the podcast, super excited and crying. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah. I thought we were good.
Oh my God, that's like so true. But then, layer on top of that, I want to lose weight. What layer
Mhm.
on top of that, I'm not confident to even think that I can lose weight. And then on top of that,
Yeah.
I'm not even confident to put on workout clothes and go to a gym that might be 70% men and then, swing around some weights and act like I know what I'm doing. I
Mhm.
mean, it's just layer upon layer upon layer. Randall definitely gets it more because when he lives with me and then we coach so many women and then, he hears a lot of the stuff that a lot of people go through. It's a lot.
Oh yeah. And then like there's a element of a lot of self-sabotage. So it's like the constant battle of like getting them back into the mindset of doing what we set out to do, and that was me for years. I was like the biggest self-sabotager, all excuses, but if I sabotaged and I quit, I knew what the end was going to be. It was like a form of control. Even though I wasn't getting to my destination, I still knew like I knew what that end was going to be. So that was like I think why I did it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we need that because I'm definitely like a black and white person. I'm either
Mhm.
doing it or I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of weight like you, but I was never a self-sabotager. It was
Mhm.
just like, am I going to do it or not? Or am I going to be, motivated to actually start? That was me. So
Mhm.
me personally, as a coach, working with women who self-sabotage, it was hard for me to understand. And this is
Mhm.
probably the first place I'm ever saying it, but it was hard because I'm like, why are we like sabotaging ourselves? I'm like, I didn't get it because I'm just very motivated self-starter, and I either do something or I don't, or I wait till I'm ready, but I hardly ever start it and then just like kill everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so
I
it's
think it's
been
like
hard to
fear
get that.
too. It's
Mhm.
like a sense of fear, you know what I mean, of the unknown. And like, am I actually going to be able to achieve this? So let me just mess it all up before I get to that point. You know what I mean? And so it's building the confidence within yourself. And that's why I think we do a lot of like habit stacking, like where it's like we want to focus on like small little goals to build that confidence up so that you can achieve it. And then we can always go back to that and be like, look at all these things you achieved, but I think it was fear more than anything of like failure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Crazy because I was talking to a friend of mine, like our water heater went out. So I put the water heater in, and one of my friends was like, I was talking to him, and he was like, dude, I wouldn't even try it just because I felt like I would mess it up. And it was like it's the same thing. Like it's like it's broken already. Like when you put the other one in, you can't really mess it up no more. You know what I'm saying? Just go at it and see what you can do. That's my mindset, but it might not be somebody else's mindset.
Yeah.
And the guy who told me, like, he's super competitive and he pushes to do, everything, but he's telling me that. So it's like just mindset stuff. You never know what somebody else is going through or what somebody else is feeling, but that just kind of made me think of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think it's like that with a lot of areas of life, because it's like people are complacent and they deal with things that they don't even want, but it's easier than getting uncomfortable to push themselves to the next level. So it's like you always have to keep reminding yourself, like, once I get over this hump and I get to the place where I want to be, it's going to be way better. But people are just too scared. So they just stay in that, complacency in life in general.
Yep.
Mhm.
And push others to do it. They'll
Right.
push others to stay complacent with it too. When I first started, when I wanted to lose weight, this is before I started. It was like a bunch of people were just telling me like, oh, you ain't gonna work. You might as well not do it. Like this, that, and other. You might as well not even try it, this, that, and other. And I was like, damn, I'm like, I used it as motivation to push me. But it's crazy that people will just try to keep you in the same place they are because that's their mindset. Maybe it's not them trying to do you any harm, but it's just what they believe.
Yeah.
So
He's was one of these people that if someone tells him he can't do it, he's gonna get it done. So
Yeah.
it's like I have to use that sometimes in general to push him because he'll get it done if someone's gonna doubt him.
Yeah.
You can manipulate him a couple times. I said, I got that situation done that you told me to. Did you lie to me? She's like, oh, because I knew you when I did it. So
Just a little motivation for you.
Yeah, it's just a little push.
I put it to you guys like this, you know, and it may sound harsh, but life is not promised. You can get going and get gone out of here today as we speak off this podcast. So why not make the best of it?
Man.
You ain't gonna be here forever. So what are we scared for? Nothing is truly ours. You know, so it's like, why not go for it? Like this is not promise. So these conversations are beautiful because it's very inspiration to us and to help others along the way. You know what I'm saying? None of this stuff is guaranteed. And that's one thing that all of us have in common in shape, size, and color, whether you're rich or poor. We have to leave. So why not go for it?
Yep.
And his like kind of drive and like we're gonna get it done no matter what really helped instill confidence in me. And that's why I think a lot of my coaching comes from that, like, think about all the things you've achieved, go back to everything you've done, go back to all the hard times, whether it's school and you had to study all night long and you didn't get to go out. Like you did those things, you did the hard thing. And I think constantly like remembering that and humbling yourself in those areas really builds confidence. And he instilled a lot of that in me. And I think that's a lot, a lot of like, you know, the confidence I have today with business and just being able to speak my mind, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It's good stuff.
That's what's up.
She always likes overthinks things.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Going into new chapters, like, do you think I could do this? Do you? I said, man, yo, go in there.
Do it.
With you.
Yeah.
Bonnie and Clyde, guns blazing. Let's go. Okay.
For sure.
Speaking of new
things.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say, and then those feelings get less and less over time. Like you become, you know, the overthinking and the like questioning becomes less over time. Yeah.
I was gonna say, speaking of like new things and like new chapters, how are you guys feeling about the new subscription that you guys launched?
Oh, I feel great.
I'm happy. No, it's really good because we wanted to give an option for one, people that are on the program, but they still want like to be able to have a plan, like, you know, but they're at the point that they're more self-motivated. They're able to kind of stay on track. But they still wanted like that, like weaning off where it's not like I'm completely by myself at this point. And then there's some people too that just like need that kind of like structure. So I think it was a really good move for us because we didn't want clients to just like completely leave and then, you know, that's it. We wanted kind of like that, like,
or
you know,
also couldn't commit fully, you know, as well.
Yeah. And yeah, and it's a financial break for people too if they want just to be in the community without committing to a full-blown one-on-one coaching. So it's been good. We've really
And it's also proof that like once you get to the goal, like the work doesn't completely end. And that's not to say that to scare people into getting started, but like I've spent so much time this past week talking about like radical honesty when it comes to, oh, I got to my goal, but now I'm gaining weight at maintenance and maybe something's wrong with my metabolism. It's really like us loosening the reins on all the habits that we already started. So a program like that keeps people connected. It keeps them more mindful. They have more self-honesty to like stay on track versus like going back to like the ramen noodles and getting the, you know, the what was it called? The crave sack, or I don't remember what it was called at at
Crave
White
case.
Castle. The crave case.
Crave
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's a
Crave
10 sack. It's a 10 sack, and the crave case is what, 20 or 30 sandwiches?
Yeah.
It was a lot of sandwiches in there.
The
Lot
10
of-
sack. A 10 sack with fries. And he's like, after they're seasoned.
That was
And I'm
good.
like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, the mozzarella sticks. We love those mozzarella.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It
yeah,
was
you're
different.
totally
Wow.
right about that. Like I think people like that's something too that I had to learn is like just being in a weight loss phase or attempting to lose weight should not be your goal constantly. And that's what I didn't know anything outside of attempting to lose weight. Like I didn't know what maintenance was. I didn't know, that I have to have some semblance of discipline and a little bit of sacrifice to keep everything for life. Like it was 0 to 100. It was just all the way in, all the way out. And that's why you gain it back, in those scenarios. So teaching people like that habits and like having that type of discipline throughout your life is going to be there, but it's not discipline to the point that you can have no fun in life or no, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Got to be able to live.
Mhm.
You got to be able to live and enjoy life. I mean, that's why we want to be healthy, so we can enjoy life, live longer, but at the same time, because I've been there too. I know exactly where you're coming from. Like, I mean, we out here just basically eating carrots and celery, you know what I mean, and nothing else. We out here just starving ourselves. I mean, the point is to enjoy yourself, everything in moderation, but enjoy yourself. You can't enjoy yourself if you're always dieting.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. But I was the same way. Like all I knew how to do was diet. I grew up
Mhm.
watching my mom diet constantly. I mean, man, I spent I think my first diet, I was like 12 or 13 or 14. I don't remember. It was like just me doing it at home. And then, I mean, I ended up dieting for like 15 years. And then
Mhm.
when it was maintenance time, I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, there's no goal. And it was weird. Now I hate dieting. I
Mhm.
don't want to diet. I don't want to give up nothing. I want to go
I
to all
know.
the little
I was
fancy
thinking-
We've been
restaurants.
thinking about that. His birthday's coming up and he was like, should I go in a cut? And I'm like, that's all you. I'm good right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking about because the big 4-0 is coming up for me. So I'm
Mhm.
just like, man,
Mhm.
should I just give it
yeah.
one shot?
You look so
Yes,
young.
ball.
You look so young. It's got to be the nutrition.
Man,
Yeah,
right.
40's coming up
Mhm.
September. So one more shot.
Life moves fast, man. It moves fast. I'm about to be 38. We both have September birthdays, and
Yeah.
it's like crazy to me that I'm like, wow. Like I met him at 28, so I'm like, it's been
27.
27.
27.
Yeah,
I was 30.
and I'm like, how
Okay.
has time moved so fast? But yeah, that's like another reason to be like, enjoy your life, but be, find that balance, because we want to live long, but we want to have fun. So.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely. They say the days creep by, but the years fly by.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel good though,
Yeah.
Ace, and I can't complain. You know, when they say you get older, you think slow down. Not for me. I feel great. I feel great. I feel
You got
great.
that Benjamin Button.
Yeah, I think that the things that I was doing in my 20s and 30s, I don't miss any of it because all I was doing is abusing myself.
Mhm.
You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally.
Mhm.
Only thing I thought of was just like doing things that didn't serve me.
Mhm.
So now that I'm, in my late 30s, going into my 40s, I'm like, man, this shit feels great to me. I'm wiser. I don't have to be around people I don't want to be around that are not serving the energy.
Mhm.
I don't have to eat these things that don't fulfill me. I don't have to work out in situations that I don't see myself doing longevity. And, I can be with my wife
Mhm.
and we can prepare
Mhm.
for the future and help others. So I'm like, yo, this aging thing is not too bad.
Hey,
It's just my perception.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
through maturity, sometimes you get the power of saying no. Like
Mhm.
we did a whole podcast on that like last year. And I think like what you just said is like it was definitely like that one's a big one for me. Like I'm 41,
Yeah.
but it took me a long time to be able to say no, I think. And then through starting to actually get my nutrition right,
Yeah.
that's what taught me how to say no to people because I had to say no to going out and drinking. I had to say no to going out to eat all the time with people. I had to start saying no. So the more I started saying no to people, to doing things that I really didn't want to do or things that didn't serve me, like the better I ended up being off, the better my life got and the better I felt overall. Like, and then I started getting into personal development and things like that because I had time to do those things because I wasn't doing all this stuff that wasn't, you know what I'm saying, going out, drinking, partying all the time and doing that crap.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just start getting better.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it's a time and place when you want to dance and let the night away, but I don't got to do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where I was in my 20s and 30s, early 30s, like I felt like I had to just be in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can choose, like, not today. Sorry. Okay, today.
It was a lot of like instant gratification, and now it's more like delayed gratification, and it means more then, you know, you enjoy it more when it's like not overdone constantly, constantly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get here though.
And that's why a lot of people quit. They want that
Yeah.
instant gratification.
Instant gratification. And with a lot of things, relationships, money,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Body, you know, like they want God to give it to them right now.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it don't work like that.
Yeah.
If you think about where you guys are at now today, I'm pretty sure you guys pray for a lot of things to come fast, but you are now where you are now today because it took time, that process to get here. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's beautiful. I think the journey is beautiful.
Facts. Gotta let it process. Fall in love with the process. You can control the process, but you have no control over the product.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you keep at the process, it's gonna come, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I gotta quote that. Say that.
That's why I said cheers.
I was like, man, am I like at a motivational seminar?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Chopping it up.
That's good stuff, man.
Can you guys
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about your coaching process together? Is there any things that like one of you guys specialize and this is like your thing? Do you work with every single client together? Or is there kind of like, that's my client, this is my client, but we do like these things together?
We work with every single client together, and basically we give them, we used to work separate, and then we got to a point where we were like, this makes no sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like we work together for a reason. And I think there's sometimes something he says resonates with someone, or something I say may resonate with someone. And so we like to give the option to them be able to ask both of us questions on a daily basis, like through our coaching program. And then we do check-ins together, and we can give joint feedback. We do group Zoom calls. So we leave it up to the client to kind of who they're feeling out, as far as like, I may speak more to them because of their past, you know, with binge eating, or he may speak more to them with his mindset, the way he talks about mindset. So
just confidence and believing in themselves, you know what I mean? Like, and just loving themselves every step of the way. So many different things that we offer as far as our strengths, you know, but when we join together, I think we're unstoppable because they realize the fact that, okay, this is a couple that's been married. They've been through the highs and lows, and they work together. So I think that's a cool thing to have that, you know what I mean? Because it's a sense of trust. Like, okay, it's a man only coaching woman, which is fine, but we're together. You know what I mean? And we live this together. Now we're just giving back and showing you with healthy habits how to do it. So I think that's pretty cool.
And I think they kind of like put us into boxes without realizing, like they ask him all the fitness questions, like just assume that that's what, you know what I mean? And they'll ask me like about like, you know, their cycle. Oh my God, what am I supposed to do? I'm due for my cycle and I can't go to the gym. So they're going to put us in boxes regardless. Even though we both have knowledge, but we leave it kind of up to them to like ask us what they want individually, and it works better. I think it gives them like feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
Do you guys record your modules together, or they're like every other? I just want to know, are y'all like
everything is together?
Twins and everything. I just have to know.
Yeah, everything. Before we met, and I mean, not before we met, when we were coaching, we were doing everything separate. Like I had my women, and then she had her women. But we hired a coach that kind of like reorchestrated how we were coaching. And it was, they implemented so many different things. It was like, why are you guys doing it this way and this way? Like, why would you guys merge together since you're already together? And let's reorchestrate this. And ever since we've done that, I think it's been great.
It's better for the client, but it's also better for us time-wise, because we just like, you know, we go with check-ins, like we just do it together, get it out of the way. Like we get, you know, bounce back and forth on each other with the feedback and things like that. We have like a client course, and we, you know, you record that once. So we just did it all together. And so, and I think it just, we bounce ideas off of each other, and he may bring something up that I didn't think of, and like, you know, it helps with
We
their
do sales calls
experience.
together too. Like if this was a sales call.
Yeah, we
we're
do.
right
We
here.
did, and all this
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
separate before, and then
Yeah.
we realized once we kind of joined forces, things were better for us and them, all the way around, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen anybody do this, like fully coach
Yeah.
together.
We don't split on anyways.
Mhm.
Like if this was a Zoom call, we'll jump on and say, hi, nice to meet you. You know, Coach Joe, Coach Evita with Jovita Lifestyle. And thank you for taking this call. Super excited. And then we boom, go into it.
But then, I mean, obviously on the back end, we had to really get down with like hours of operation, a schedule, because if not, it's like our whole life is just this, you know? So we had to get really like strict with our own like work schedules so that we can have like the off time, and like, you know, if he wants to go to the gym by himself, or I want to go do yoga or go out with drinks with friends, or we want to go together, we have that, and it's not like always overlapping, because in the beginning it was like we had no balance, work-life balance, and it took a long time to kind of get to that place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can see that. I can see that. So, not to put y'all on the spot, but I want to make sure we do this before we get out of here, because like it's like we get a lot of questions. We get a lot of people like, I don't understand how y'all work together. I don't understand how you do this, yada yada yada. You know, I wouldn't be able to do it. Give like at least 3 tips you would give to like couples that are trying to actually go into business together. Like just three tips, just three tips for them.
3 for me, 3 for her.
Yeah.
Go. You say your 3. Go for it.
Okay. I would say
Truth.
find your zones of geniuses, like figure out what you're both good at, and delegate tasks in that department, because you guys are going to work so much more efficiently if you find out what areas you have strengths in and what areas it may not be your area. And 2, like I said about the like work-life balance, like really be strict with like, these are the hours we work, and then after that try to shut it down. I mean, we talk about it after hours. Let's not be, I mean, it's gonna happen, but we try to not like bleed it in constantly, where you're watching like Netflix at 10 p.m. and we're just like freaking out about clients or what, you know what I mean? You wanna really like try to not bleed it together. And 3, I just think like a communication, just like with a relationship, like understanding like each other, like when the other person's burnt out, or if the other person's like just over it or overstimulated, like even if something needs to get done, giving that person that space and just being like, okay, I can take the load off or take a break, go do what you need to do, because you can get overstimulated for sure, and you need to have like that kind of like decompression sometimes. So I think those are my 3.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Number 1 is making love.
I mean, that
First and
helps,
most
right?
importantly.
I mean, it helps. It helps.
Making love, because you never, honestly, because you never want to lose that spark. You know what I mean? You don't want it to just be all business. You know,
For real.
I'm thinking for people who work together with their mate. You don't want to lose that, because you don't want to get to the top and it's just business, and then it's like, where did we lose ourselves at?
Yeah.
I can't even touch you, and I don't even feel the vibration anymore. It's just business. So I think number 1, love.
And intimacy, like
Intimacy.
you know, we laugh and during the day hug each other.
Love.
Love.
Number 1. Number 2, I think that, you know, prayer is involved, you know what I mean? Where you got to like get into whether you believe or not. I think that's very important, that you tap in with the higher power, whoever you may believe in, and understand that, you know, this road to greatness won't be easy. So give us strength, give us guidance, keep our relationship strong, help us, you know, serve, because we're always going to serve no matter what. Even at the top, you're going to be serving something. So I think that's very important. And last but not least, you know, I would say that not giving up on everything that we try to accomplish. You know what I mean? So love, prayer, and not giving up. You know what I mean? Those are my 3 things as far as like moving a business forward and then keeping you guys forward.
So
That's it.
Mhm.
That's
I
what's up.
agree. That's good advice.
Yeah.
'Cause we
That's
hear
good.
so
That's good
many
tip.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many people are like, I would kill my partner if people are like, how can you do it? I could never. I would have to like completely like rent co-working space to even, and I'm like, really? But Randall's my best friend. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
he's stuck with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's
We
why so
like
many
this
people
too.
with COVID, like, they were like, oh, this isn't going to last because you're like stuck in one space working together. And I was like, and that's when we really thrive to like move things forward. So I think it's learning each other, learning when to let off the gas, when to push the gas, it's just communication all the way around.
And we've been together for so long and been together, like literally together for so long, to where we were up, to where we were down, to where we, been homeless. So
Yeah, we've been through
I
some
think
shit.
this is like,
Yeah.
this is no big deal.
Mhm,
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We started out together.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
moving forward, I think it's just continue to keep going. Yeah.
That's what's
I'm
up.
excited for the journey.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, looks good on y'all. Looks good on y'all
Man.
for sure.
Likewise.
Sure.
It
Appreciate
does.
it.
We're proud of
Appreciate
you
it.
guys. We're
Thank you.
definitely
Yeah.
proud of
Too.
you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So let's tell these people how to get in contact with you.
Okay.
1-800 hotline. Sorry.
Look, 555.
Yo.
I'm Evita Eats on Instagram and TikTok. So it's EVITAEATS, Evita Eats. And then,
I'm gonna forget how to spell it.
oh my gosh, he's Jovi Hough Fitness on Instagram and TikTok. So it's JOVIHOUGH
Yeah.
Fitness.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And
Got
then,
it.
all right. Well, hey, it's been real chopping it up with y'all today. We appreciate y'all coming on with us. We'll have to do it again.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, we appreciate y'all listening. Make sure y'all like, share, download, and subscribe. And we'll holler at y'all next time.
And it was good seeing you guys too in Vegas. I hope to see you guys again too in person.
Definitely. We had to make that happen again.
Yeah.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to our podcast today. Make sure you like, share, and tag us on Instagram. Also, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future episodes. In the meantime, be healthy and get wealthy.